Hello and welcome to this video with me, Actor Thomas. Now, unfortunately, the video that I had hoped to have uploaded for you this week is taking a lot longer than I expected to get edited down. So fingers crossed it might happen next week. Fingers crossed. But as soon as it's all finished, I will be getting that uploaded for you. So at least over the next couple of weeks it will be uploaded. But something else that I thought I'd do today, which is another video that I said I was going to do, was going to be talking about certain people or certain individuals that take part in the Up documentary series that I enjoy. Now, like I say, there's a number of them. There's a few people that I enjoy watching, and they're every couple of years. They obviously they come up, and they're either their lives have improved, or they've taken a step back, or things have stayed very similar, all that sort of stuff. And I just thought it's very, very cool. It's I thought I'd talk about this guy first of all, because he is a his name is Neil, and he started off as this 7-year-old, very hopeful, very bright-eyed, very interested in the world, little boy who had great dreams and all that sort of stuff, and everyone, and you could see that he had so much imagination and so much love for life. Over the years, to particularly during the 80s and the 90s, and even into the early 2000s, he really struggled with work and mental health, and it's very clear from when I've watched each series, or each instalment of the series, it becomes very clear that he obviously every day is a struggle, and I think that's the most important thing that this documentary has shown, is the fact that life for so many people out there is a continual battle, really. Like I say, he's nearly every 7 years since he left university has basically been in a different place, a different city, or a different part of the UK. And that is another thing that he struggles with, is forming and keeping relationships, which is also something else that he touches upon on several of the interviews that he does. And like I say, it's sad in that respect, because when you watch the show, or when you watch the documentaries, he comes across as a very vulnerable individual, but he fights against being a leech, which I suppose leech is the wrong word. What I'm trying to get at is that he's not using the situation he's in, being either out of work or squatting in an abandoned building, or whatever he may have been doing, at the time, but he wasn't using that as a look at me, I'm a part of this documentary series, I should be living life the same way as everyone else is in the nice big houses down south. He was trying to get across a message about how the culture, particularly in this country of England, of Great Britain, sorry, is that it's very much you throughout life you are basically put into a series of categories, and I think particularly Neil is trying to not take himself out of that structure of being in those boxes, but he's making it very clear to a lot of people that it is very easy to get placed into those and not do anything about it. Like, you will hear throughout the interviews that he does, he's always trying to do something. Like, one of them, I can't remember which one it is, but he's living in a community, and he is helping do the I think it's like the local nativity, or he tries to do that. He gives advice, and he gives a bit of help in the directing and being involved in that, bringing that community together. There's another one where he is he's working as a lay minister in a community in their church, and he's helping bring that community together and supporting people and feeling more together and feeling as if he's a part of that community. There's other times when he's, particularly when he was younger, when he was away, and he was living in I think it was a squat, and he is very much, he's away, and he's keeping himself very distant from everyone else, which I think shows his way of moving forward and accepting what he is, because that's one thing that I think he himself puts across quite eloquently during the interviews, is from when he was younger to roughly probably around 2000 and the last one was about 2012, which would have been his struggle to either be accepted by other people and himself accepting things, either be it himself or in his situation or in the surroundings where he finds himself. And that's why I say it's a very, very interesting, very cool way of looking into a person's personality and into their life, because it's when they go and interview him for next year, he could be in a very, very different place. He could either be moved forward from where he was in 2012, or he may have retracted back to something that he was back in maybe the 80s or the 90s, and that would have to obviously restart the entire process again for him. And I think you need to, for me particularly, it's helped, when I've been watching it anyway, it's helped me understand that there is people out there in the community and out walking, you can walk past them every day, and they have a smile on their face, or they're wearing really nice smart clothes, or they're or they may be homeless, or they may be wearing, they might have mud all down their trousers, or whatever it may be. And I think this is one thing that I've learned, and it's helped me understand people a lot more, is you never know what's going on in people's lives. Like, if you, going back to the Up documentaries with Neil, if you watched when he was 7 and 14, and you hear the hopes and the dreams and the aspirations of Neil back then, compare it to when it's 2012, you would not think it's the same person. Or even if you go back to 1984, it's not the same person. To me, he's one of the people that have been a part of this whole experiment that has really shown how life and even things that are completely out of your control can affect someone. Like, it's quite wonderful. Obviously, I understand the whole reason for this documentary was to see what the executives and the shopkeepers and what people would have been like when they were 7 years old, when in the future they would have been those high-powered business people or lawyers or people that run shops or any kind of business or anything in the millennium. And obviously it's moved forward, it's become something else. It's no longer just about what these people every 7 years for the millennium. Obviously now we're 18 years after the millennium, and we're still interested in finding out about these people. And I think that's really important for this, because even though these people are real, they are real lives, they're living real, they've got families of their own, they look back at what their lives were, and looking back at what their lives used to be and thinking, if that's what we wanted our life to be, but this is what our lives are now, what will our future hold? And I think that's a really important question. And I think that's something that Neil is, every time an interview with him, there is that continual discussion and internal struggle there to see what his future will be like, because he's seen what his past is, and he's got that visual reminder throughout the interviews that he's done over the years, that he's able now to see that is a flaw for what they wanted. And like I said, I'm just looking forward to when it comes back next year, and it's going to be very, very interesting. I hope they obviously it's as interesting and as absorbing as all the other ones have been, because like I say, it's an interesting look at a slice of the population, and I just think it makes people more aware. Thank you very much for watching this video. If I've interested you in anything like this, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of them already on YouTube. Just type in Up documentary or Up series, and I think it should pop up. If not, you can go on to Amazon or eBay or any of those sort of shops online and find the DVDs, and you should be able to watch them all. They're all, like I say, if not, just obviously, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave a like, a comment, a subscribe. If you want, you can become one of my patrons. The link is down below. Just so other people are aware, so far the last episode of Earth Orange is going to be coming out tomorrow morning. There will be one final episode. They're going to do another episode after this, which will be like a roundup of all the episodes that we've done so far. And then, depending on how well the whole series has been taken by our listeners, then we'll decide if we're going to do another series next year. If you haven't seen any of them, there is all episodes are going to be on the channel, and if you'd like, you can go and have a listen to those. It's between myself and a friend of mine, Andrew, who we work together, who are very interested in superheroes and comics and stuff like that, and we mix and match stories. So if you want to go and listen to that, and I hope you enjoy. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Hopefully the snooker commentary video will be up next Sunday. If not, I will have another video waiting ready for you guys to watch. And as always, I shall give you a little salute and say goodbye.